Forever. Dog.
And welcome back. We took a 3-day break, and now we're back. We've changed.
I've been sitting here. I've been rolling this whole time, so I got about 72 hours of ranting and rambling and time travel.
Like so
shit.
much like masturbation sounds. I'm like, what is he doing there?
Just leave him on.
So much masturbation sounds. That's the title of the episode. Great.
That's my new EP. Yeah.
I'm considering making a Christmas album, and I'm wondering if you guys have thoughts on that, and if it's something you would ever consider doing.
Here's my belief about Christmas albums. If you are a musician, you must make one. It is crazy to not use your talent for something that everyone wants more of. We all want a new Christmas song. We all want to have a playlist that has like 1,000 Christmas songs that are unique, cool, and different. So I truly think, like, I love when like indie bands do a Christmas song. I love like compilations like that. I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't cash in on a Christmas album as a musician.
That's the real thing, is that it's like also you're leaving money on the table if you're a recording artist of any kind, that you don't just go like, well, let me do some fucking, random Little Drummer Boy cover. And then hopefully that ends up on some dude's playlist. And then it plays at a fucking holiday party for like 21 plays in one evening. You know what I mean? Like that's just
one of the songs I want to write literally is a song about shopping at TJMaxx during the holidays so that they can play that at TJMaxx during the holidays. Cause
brilliant.
Don't you think that's kind of a good idea? I'll tell you who had a terrible Christmas album. Somebody that, what if I was like Mariah Carey? No, someone who
isn't catchy.
Someone who I actually love, but for me, it backfired. And actually, I still have it on my Spotify. And when it comes up on shuffle, I start to grow like the black swan feathers because I get so uncomfortable. Sia.
No.
I like her.
You don't.
Yeah, she's got the one about like snowman. I don't care what it is, but I like it. There's a couple on there.
See what I mean? It's horrible.
I like her one song. Snowman, you're frosty, carrot nose and coal eyeballs.
But she is someone I thought of with that, because I was like, yeah, you're a good singer. You should be doing Christmas. I mean, why not? And I was excited. There are a few on there that I think are fun, but I respect your opinion.
I gotta absolutely disagree. And this is someone who I fucking love, Sia, and I actually paid money to see her in concert when she was wearing the wig, which to me is like, why don't I pay to see the Grim Reaper kill me? Like, I just go with me on this one, but you don't see her face. I'm like, I don't know what she's doing behind the wig. It could be anybody.
True.
You know what I mean? It just could be anybody. Jon Gabrus, what's the worst concert you've ever been to?
The worst concert I've ever... the biggest letdown of a concert I've ever been to was MGMT opening for Beck at the United Church in Harlem.
That
MGMT,
sounds great.
It sounds awesome, but this was MGMT's after their first album, which is like all dancey and fun. Yeah. And then when you see them do it live and they don't have like studio energy or whatever, it was a full different game. I'm assuming they've put on other good live shows since then. But I was very much let down. MGMT, I remember rolling in, like that was the album that I was cranking like all summer long, and then showed up to this concert and was...
And it was, like, how is it at the church? How is it at the church?
The church is a fucking amazing venue. I've seen Block Party, Arcade Fire, and Beck there, and those were three of the best shows I've ever... Block Party fucking rocked so hard, paint chips were raining down.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
It's like this old-ass church in Harlem that's like a beautiful venue when you go in there to see a concert. Fucking... I mean, I don't even know if it still exists, but it was funny in like 2005 being on a train with like 500 white people pulling into Harlem to go see like Arcade Fire. It's like, gee, I wonder what all you guys are here to do. Everyone has like swoop bangs and skin tight jeans, and you're like, oh, we're all going to see Arcade Fire.
Lauren Lapkus, I ask you the same question. I feel like this is a fun topic because I love ragging on bad things.
See, I can't think of any I can't think of concerts that I thought were horrible, but I did go see some bands that are like so like I went to like see Dispatch when I was in high school, and I was like, this is amazing. And it's like but I mostly what I've been doing in the last few years is I end up at like huge stadium concerts. Like I went to see Fleetwood Mac, and I'm like a million miles away, but it was like the best thing ever. And I did that with Beyonce too, and I like had the best time. So I think I just get excited because I only go to concerts like once a year, if that. And so it's kind of rare that I end up seeing something that isn't fun.
I'll tell you, Beyonce is the best bang for your buck. I think if you were to buy buy a ticket to any show, even including Celine, by the way. And I love Celine, but that was the last concert I went to with Celine Dion at the Barclays Center. Not that anyone cares, but Beyonce, when she puts a show on, I'm like, oh, that's where my money went. There's
Totally.
stage, there's dancers, there's lights, and it's unlike any other show I've ever seen. And then, of course, her talent, her beauty, everything. It's very overwhelming. It's funny you said Beck, because this is not a good story. Just you jogged to my memory that I saw Beck at Radio City also
on Valentine's Day.
It had to. I mean, many years ago. It was before 2010.
I was just about to say. Oh, I was going to say, was it Valentine's Day 1999, 2000? Because that's when I was there. I saw Beck there, and it was amazing.
Really? Because I saw Beck. We had the worst seats, though. If you go to Radio City, anyone who knows this, if you're in the first 2 levels, it's like, chef's kiss, incredible. When you start climbing up there and you're in the flight pattern for United at JFK, you can't.
No exaggeration. That shit's like Billy Goat style. It's like pure vertical.
This is what and that's where I always am at concerts, and I'm truly scared when I'm going up the stairs or walking down. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm fucked up out of my mind from pre-gaming, and rolling a joint and smoking it in the crowd, and then I stand up and I have vertigo looking down 1,000 feet.
It's
to the
nauseating.
Ground.
Yeah.
It's so steep at that high level there, where you're you kind of have to lean back like you're jogging downhill or something.
You're literally gonna fall into the orchestra pit, and that's where I saw Beck. And I actually thought he was, maybe because I was so bitter about the tickets, but I have never really had a good concert experience except for one at Radio City. I don't think I like that venue, and it's a controversial thing. Quick story: Dan, who is we call him our correspondent. I think just don't laugh at that, and let's just move forward. The point is, we went to see Electric Light Orchestra at Radio City.
Hell yeah.
I was excited about that. And we got our tickets on StubHub. And I thought I was getting the best. We spent $500 per ticket. I'd never spent that much money. But it was their last concert. We're about to, RBG style. This is it. See us now.
Yeah.
So we got these tickets, and we got there, and we were in the second to last row at Radio City, which I was for fucking $1,000.
$500. Yeah, it's crazy.
I was furious. And so I Instagrammed a thing, and actually we were sitting right in front of Beck Bennett. He was the only person behind us from SNL, very lovely guy. But I took a picture. He's in the background actually. And I said, this is, we paid $1,000 for these tickets. And I just wrote at StubHub #complaint. That's all I wrote as a joke. They gave us a credit for $1,000 for tickets.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's minor fame privilege right there.
How
dare you say minor?
Check mark.
Hey, please. Real fame would be, I think you could get ELO tickets on your own.
How fucking dare you say minor? Yeah, go on.
Yeah. I did see one great show at Radio City. I saw Strokes and White Stripes. I saw, if that's not the most early 2000s concert you've ever heard in your entire life, but I saw White Stripes open for the Strokes there, because the Strokes open for White Stripes in Chicago or Detroit, wherever they're from. And then since the Strokes are New York, they let White Stripes open for them there. And it fucking rolled.
Yeah, I believe that.
Rolled. Yeah.
I just miss it. I think that I wanted to ask you that because it's just the worst band I've ever seen. The Killers were the worst. I've never seen a worse live performance than, I was like, I don't know what, this isn't a good story. And also, we're so dating ourselves. I'm like, the worst.
Oh my God.
Frankie Valli at Jones Beach. Horrible stuff.
Frankie Valli at Jones Beach. You just got my mom perked up because she's like, I've seen Frankie Valli at Jones Beach 4 times, Jonathan. I love Frankie Valli. My first concert was Soul Asylum at Jones Beach.
Wow.
And then my gayest concert ever was B-52s and Blondie at Jones Beach.
Wow, that is very gay for you.
I was going to say, I think the whitest thing about me is that I've accidentally seen Dave Matthews twice.
Accidentally?
How did that happen,
I
Lauren?
just ended up there. I never wanted to go, and somehow I was there twice. It just was it just happened.
Wait, that's how I saw Fish. You just reminded me that I one time went to a Fish concert in Jersey the same way, where someone had a ticket and I just got on the bus. We took the bus from Port Authority to fucking New Jersey. And I not for me. That's my official review. Just not for me.
I went to see String Cheese Incident.
Yikes.
And
wow.
I had it. And yeah, that was a fun time, but not my vibe really. But my brother really loves Fish and String Cheese. So I was kind of like, okay, I'll go to that. And then, it's a whole different world over there. You got to be really high.
Yeah, you gotta you really like the vibe as much as the music, I feel like, over there. And if you can buy into the vibe, you can buy into the music.
The vibe, for those who don't know, it's very white person who should definitely not have dreadlocks leaning into it.
Yeah.
It's just
For the record, my brother does not have dreadlocks.
that's good that you got to clear the record there, Lauren.
But mushrooms and all that stuff really help you enjoy fish, apparently.
Are you guys having moments ever where, and you're both married, where you want to leave this country? Because I lately am having a lot of panicky. I was supposed to go to London next week, and I think I have to postpone because this is just a way for me to talk about my canceled travel plans. But I was supposed to go for a few months, and I'm postponing it because I think they're on their second lockdown now. It's coming to us, I think, within a month. And it's just never going to end, basically. I am so fearful for it. Do you wish you were anywhere else right now?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I would like to be with my husband still, but I wish I was in Tokyo. I wish I was I wish I was in Chicago with my family. Like I have so many places I wish I was, but I'm just trying to lean into it and just be like, this is what it is right now, and I just can't go anywhere, and I just have to be happy with taking a walk and seeing people on Zoom.
Is your husband not with you right now, Lauren?
No, he is. I'm just saying, like, when I say Tokyo, I'm not like by myself.
Oh,
like,
I see.
anywhere else.
Yeah, I'd kill to be in Tokyo without Tiffany right now. I mean, I've never even been to Tokyo. Just anything sounds appealing right now.
I've never been there.
I really want to go. We were gonna go. We were like, next year is our 40th birthday year and our 10-year wedding anniversary. So we were like, let's go fucking huge. And then it was like, well,
Damn,
we were
that
supposed to go
sucks.
huge this holidays. We were going to just dip this holiday and go away for like 3 weeks because we just think we earned it. And that was last year's decision. And now that's all undone.
Yeah.
For me, my big thing is I would love to, I wouldn't want to quarantine anywhere else unless I happen to have a friend who had a beach house that they weren't staying at. Like, unless I just lived some like sort of vacation-y life. But I would have loved to have seen my mom or been on the island for a little bit at some point. But my family is living, it's not like, they're not living the same exact life as me, so I don't even know if I could see them. Like, I don't even, like, everyone's playing by different rules out there.
Yeah.
Are your parents, John, so they're in Long Island, and I know that because our mutual favorite Billy Joel song is the Downeaster Alexa. Obviously, Long Island. Have your parents, have they been like going out? Because I know that a lot of people, like Long Island is open. You can sit inside restaurants. What are they doing?
I feel bad blowing up my mom's spot, but she went to fucking Atlantic City.
What?
Yeah, she's crazy.
It's so hard to like to control everyone. Like, it's all I want to do is just be like, stay inside. Like, where are you going? Like, why are you going there?
I'd be like, oh, hey, you're an older woman who's a cancer survivor. Get the fuck out of this
She's a
shit,
cancer survivor. How old is she?
She's like 65. She doesn't, she's not going to be stopped. Like, she's already like survived like a million things. She's like, fuck it. Like, she truly has like cockroach mentality. She's like, I'm indestructible now. Like, I live my life. Like, but at the same time, I'm like, please don't. But I can't say anything either because she does it, comes back and not sick.
She's fine.
And and I'm wrong. And I don't know what.
Yeah, but the risk there is so, if my parents who I really love bragging about how, like, I love being home. Like, I love staying home. I love it. My mother has not left the apartment that they live in Miami since March 5th. She has literally not left the apartment, not to go on a drive. She gets the Costco deliveries. She wipes them all down. She's there with the cat, cooking every day. And it's one of those things, well, now that I'm not going next week to England, I'm like, which is for the best. I mean, I really wanted to go, but I'm just like.
Was it for work?
It was for life. I just have always wanted to live there. I thought, you know what? And I realized that sounds so incredibly selfish, but let me just say that, like, look, here in New York, I'm seeing friends. I'm all safely, but I'm, following the guidelines, but I'm still doing things here. And I have friends there. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go there, live the same life that I have here, just in London, and see if I could ever do this, and work was fine with it. Sirius was okay with it, blah, blah, blah. But I'm certainly not going to go pay someone for an Airbnb to be locked down in it. And if I'm going to be locked down anywhere, I want to be in my apartment with all my bullshit here. You know what I'm saying?
No, and that is true. Like, for a lockdown, I am happy to be at home. Like, but I have such wanderlust right now. Like, I just want to be anywhere. I usually get to leave town a few times a month to like do shows or just go work or do other things. And so it's really hard to not have any of that like shake up in my routine. My days are just so monotonous that, like, you look around, you're like, oh, it's another month that's gone. Like that's the part that I think there's nothing marking any of the time, and that really sucks.
And at the end of the week, I'm like, I can't tell if this is a fast week or a slow week because everything is bleeding into itself so much that I have no delineation between, am I fatter, skinnier? Am I going out with someone? Like I have nothing. It's like a big barf bag basically of nothing, you know?
Yeah. I literally mark, like all I do is interact with people on this screen and one other couple that's in my bubble with me and Tiff. And like my brain is fucking toast from that.
It's horrible. Also,
going off what Lapkus said, I used to travel every once in a while for work and get out of town and go on tour. And so did my wife. And we both got to have like some alone. We've been together for 17 years. This last however many days is the most amount of nights in a row we've slept in the same bed, which again is not a complaint, but it is new for us. and I think we're home all day together. Something previously I had days to myself at the house.
Yeah, I think there's something like really like that you just took for granted that I feel this way, where like before I got to just go be by myself in different cities like regularly, and now I'm never alone, and that's fine. I mean, like you're saying, like it's like I love my husband, so it's fine. We're having a fun time. Every day is pretty fun, but like in terms of like making each other laugh. But yeah, you just like you have that thing is missing of just getting to like walk around somewhere.
Listener, are you noticing, by the way, how John and Lauren are both couple bragging their fucking hearts out as I sit here rotting? They're both like, look, it's awesome. I'm in love. I'm so happy I have someone here at all times in my bed, you know, making food for me. It's a wonder. And I'm sitting here truly like just with the ghosts of my grandparents spitting on me. Okay, this is like literally this is who's living in my apartment. Can I say one other thing is that I feel like we're losing the thread of COVID a little bit, because I feel like when it was happening in China and it hadn't come here yet, on my morning show, I was doing stories about like the divorce lines in Wuhan are miles long. And I was like laughing, like everybody hates each other. This is so funny. Like, oh, all the couples are breaking up. And now I'm just like breaking up together. Who cares?
I know.
I literally have like no energy left to care about these things. I'm like, get divorced. Fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's not you two, obviously, but do you think you're going to see do you know anyone who's gotten divorced in the past 8 months? Let's call it 7 months.
I've seen one or two friends, possibly two, post on social media saying like, hey, we've decided that we're going to not be a couple anymore, but we're still going to be with the kids, whatever. Everything's fine. Haha. LOL. Good to see everyone. And then like, separate posts after that.
Wow.
I thought that was like the most modern positive version I've seen of something like that. I'm just like, we just want you to know, like it's like the baby announcement, but on like the like, just so you know, this is where our life is headed right now.
It's a divorce reveal. They shoot a balloon up in the air.
Yeah.
Black dust falls out.
I set Northern California on fire to say I'm separating from my wife.
We are so sorry. We just wanted everyone to know that this is over. It's like as they burn. I know. It's just, I'm kind of hitting a wall right now, especially like not because I think I was looking forward to this trip just to like have something to do.
Yes.
Although I was also worried that because, you know, I'm very paranoid now about just the image of going even to England for me, and just like people being like, oh, she's traveling. Okay. Like you're going to kill somebody.
No. And it is really hard not to have that judgment about people on Instagram. Cause even like I'll see
it's
people
jealousy induced too. Yeah.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah. There's
Thanks,
there's
John.
definitely part of that. Even with people when they're like, we all got tested and we're all hanging out. And I'm like, well, wait, so you just get to get rapid tests and hang out and I don't get to do anything? Like there is that. It is like jealousy, and it's also like, okay, did the rapid test really work? And are you sure you're not going to have it? And someone's going to get it from that big party. And like there's this rage and jealousy that just comes from like seeing everyone trying to live their life in this. And like all
those captions are lies. All those captions are lies. Because by the way, there's no way. I actually almost got rapid tested yesterday because I went to an event last Thursday that was the second I got there, I was like, this may have been a mistake. Like truly, like I was like, this will be fine. It'll be fine. And then I got there and I was like, I'm dumb. But I had a good time. But I wanted to get tested. They opened.
Feel scared?
You know, it's almost like, and this is why I'm kind of angry. Well, forget the fact that our country is like burning down as we sit here in it, but I'm kind of pissed at our governor here in New York because I feel like he's dropped the thread and dropped the ball in such a way where he was doing these daily things and really involved. And it's been months and we don't hear from him. And it's almost hard internally, personally, to keep that level of fear up for such a long time and to be as vigilant as without being told to be so vigilant.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I consider myself a smart person, and even I'm making mistakes in that sense. I'm going to admit to it because things are happening. You know, I'm going to go whatever. Always with masks on, always. I'm very careful with the masks, and I do yell at people about that. But still, you just don't know what's going to happen when you do things like that, you know? So they opened up a place here in New York that does rapid testing. You get the results within 15 minutes. It's $200 though. So it's a lot of money. But I might this week go because I kind of feel, just for peace of mind and just...
Do it.
I don't know. Like if Juliana Rancic can get it, anything's possible, you guys.
Well, I know. I mean, there is that was kind of crazy with the whole. I really loved how the Emmys were done last night. By the way, did
you like
it? I thought it was really fun.
I enjoyed it. I thought they
really
did a
liked
great
the
job.
show.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done. But seeing that Juliana Rancic and Vivica A. Fox both were supposed to go to events or do something. I don't know if she was supposed to present, Vivica, but they both were tested positive, and it's like they didn't know. And that's what's kind of crazy.
That's the thing.
That's what makes me feel so much more nervous that like you only found out because you got a routine test that had to be done.
I don't want to just be fucking Johnny dumb layman here, but it's still so early in understanding the disease.
I know.
It's still so early. Like we don't know. And I'm not trying to be, I'm not going fucking,
I want full Pizzagate. Full Pizzagate.
Yeah, I'm
Hit
not
me,
going
QAnon.
hunting for kids in cabinets and shit right now, but we don't know. They're not telling us every single thing they understand. Like people, I hear people early on were like, well, I've had a cough for 4 weeks, but there's phlegm in it, so it's not COVID. It's
Yeah,
like,
no, I know.
Who told you that? Like, go to a fucking doctor. We hear one thing, we lock it in, and whatever, it's confirmation bias, whatever makes us feel better. And then onto those like Vivica A. Fox and Julia Rancic or whatever. Yeah. I saw a bunch of someone break down their Instagrams of like, here she is announcing her having COVID. Here's her 6 days ago water skiing with 12 friends.
Wow.
Here's her 4 days ago. Here's her here's Vivica A. Fox 7 days earlier, according to her own Instagram, in a pool with 8 friends.
By the way, if I tested positive, you know who's never going to know? Anybody else. Guess what? This bitch ain't squealing. I'm not going to say shit to anybody because I don't want anyone to know. Yeah, I don't know why I even got off on this little rant. It's just there's like this new, I'm a real stickler for etiquette. Like I really love just table manners, and I'm an annoying person. I've always been very annoying. And that's our time. We have to go. No. But I really.
Me and Lauren just both nod in agreement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Wow.
Thanks for at Gabrus on social media. See you later.
No one interrupted me. That's funny. But anyway, no, but I feel like now there's all this new etiquette with this virus that we've never had to deal with before. And it's really like a whole new world figuring out like, how do we behave? How do we tell people? I saw a video, I tweeted it out, of a woman in France. Now the French are the fucking worst, by the way. You saw that? Who was like, excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît, like step back because the woman behind her was too close. And I have done that at Marshall's. I'll be honest, but then sometimes you're just not paying attention. And I've yelled at people if I'm looking at clothing and they come next to me to look at the clothing. I go, we're not even the same size. I go, we're not the same size. Give me 10 seconds. And then you can come look for your shit over here. We do not have the same personal style. Give me 10 seconds, Hey, Midnight Snackers, I really, really want you to win this e-bike from Aventon, so listen up. Okay, first of all, you have to know that just because it's an electric bike, it doesn't mean you're not going to get any exercise from it. Now, if you don't want to get any exercise from it, hop on, babe. You can do whatever you want. But with Aventon's e-bikes, you can actually choose the level of assistance you want while pedaling. It can be a workout. It can be an easy breezy ride. It's whatever you want it to be, which is really my favorite thing. If you ride it like a bike, pedal your little heart out, you can go up the hills. I like mine because I'll tell you that before I got it, I was doing the local city bikes here in New York. And 2 things. One is I would constantly get honked at because everyone was like, move, because it's so slow. That I'm not joking that the second I got the Aventon bike, I never got honked or tooted at again. That's really true. And it was such a slow bike. It was basically like pedaling the Titanic. And for a hill, I weigh a lot. I'm on this bike. Forget about it. I have to hop off and walk my bike up the hill. Well, with the e-bike, I press a button and I always say it's like God just lightly pushing me up that hill. It's the best feeling. I really encourage all of you to try it at some point in your life. It's so much fun. Whatever you want this bike for, you're going to have it. You've seen my Instagram posts. You know I love my bike. So what I'm saying is why not try to win one of your own? All you have to do is go to aventon.com/midnightsnack to enter at your chance for winning a brand new Aventon e-bike. And you have a lot of time until November 30th to enter the giveaway. Once again, it's aventon.com/midnight snack. I'm really pulling for you guys. Good luck. Hey, Midnight Snackers. You know, one of the only things we have to look forward to right now is a good night's sleep. So you can't let a bad mattress get in the way of that. That's why you should check out Helix. Helix Sleep are American-made, personalized mattresses shipped straight to your door with free, no-contact delivery, free returns, and a 100-night sleep trial. And Helix has a 2-minute quiz so you can find out your mattress match. They just gather some information about your body type and sleep preferences to find you the perfect mattress. And yes, they have soft or firm mattresses. Mattresses if you sleep on your side or your back or your stomach. Mattresses even if you're a hot sleeper. They have it all. I took the quiz and I was matched with the Midnight Helix mattress because I wanted something that felt medium, not too soft, not too firm. Plus, I'm a famed side sleeper. Plus, the mattress was designed for pressure relief. And sometimes, you know, I get a little hip pain sometimes. Ladies, you know what I mean. Helix has a 10-year warranty and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. Plus, they'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but I'm really not worried about that. And if you're looking for accolades, well, buckle up because Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ, Wired Magazine, and Apartment Therapy. So go to helixsleep.com/Michelle, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress that's going to give you the best sleep of your life. And right now, Helix is offering up to $200 off of all mattress orders. Get up to $200 off at helixsleep.com/Michelle. That's helixsleep.com/Michelle. Hey, Midnight Snackers. I'm here to remind you that there's an online professional counseling service out there for you right now if you need it. Listen, everyone knows times are tough. You've heard me talk about how this pandemic has affected my own life on this very podcast. All everyone really wants is for this nightmare time to be over. But as we sort through the unknown, we're finding our own ways to work through this. And if you're looking for some additional help during this time, why not try BetterHelp? BetterHelp takes the time to assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist that you can start communicating with in just under 48 hours. You just log into your account to send a message to your counselor, and you can do this on your very own schedule. You can also schedule weekly video or phone sessions with your counselor to chat. And if you get matched with one that you just don't connect with, don't worry, because you can switch it and it's free and easy to do so. Plus, it's more affordable than traditional offline counseling and financial aid is available. So visit betterhelp.com/Michelle. That's BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, and join the over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp. They're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. So, hey, if you're a counselor, BetterHelp is looking for you. And of course, there's a special offer for my listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Michelle. Again, get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Michelle.
Hey everyone, we're Mike,
Scott, and Jason from Podcast The Ride. On our podcast, we discuss the world of theme parks and themed entertainment,
animatronic bears,
fake rock work, the logistics of theme park parking garages.
So please check out and subscribe to Podcast The Ride only on the Forever Dog Podcast Network.
New episodes every Friday.
I've tried to do like one or two things like that. Like instead of the grocery store, I went to the farmer's market to get stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And every time I've done that, I've gotten a moment where I'm like, this fucking person is way too close. And then I go, this person wouldn't be way too close to you if you weren't here. Like,
That's
if
the
you
thing.
weren't in that Marshall's,
Yeah.
no one would be near you.
How
And then
dare
that's
you,
when
John?
I come to, that's where I came to it. I'm like,
That's
I'm getting mad that this other
really
person has a mask on.
enlightened.
This other person has no mask on the street, and it's driving me fucking crazy. I don't want to be wearing a mask. I'm out here wearing a mask. I'm like, if I'm home, I don't wear a mask, and that person doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but also
Boom.
the fact that
Smash that.
I agree with you. However, the fact that we could be doing not normal things, but like you could be walking in the street if everyone just acted like a fucking human being instead of a selfish piggy face like every other person here in New York now who's gallivanting around. I'm like, did we not see 200,000 people are dead? Are we just going to say fuck it? Like that's it? I mean, it's.
I know,
I'm gonna
it's
say
so
I'm gonna say fuck it. I'm staying in because fuck it. I don't trust. And
I
like you're
know.
saying, like I'd rather than bet on the goodwill of strangers on the streets of West Hollywood, I'm going to just stay in my
Oh,
fucking
West
house.
Hollywood. There's no greater thanks to God that I have to say than not living in West Hollywood during this time. I would be.
Well, oh my God, the bars are, I mean, every place seems to be like still popping off. Like, I mean, there's like.
Are they busy, the
full-on-
bars?
Like
Every
Franklin
place has tables on the
Avenue
street.
by the way, like I saw a full video where like it was a nighttime. It looked like a regular night. Every bar is overflowing with people. I was so confused. I mean, I don't go anywhere at night, so I never see it in person, but I've seen these things online.
Lauren, you're the sweetest. Lauren's like the sweetest little angel. Like, I hope if I ever have a daughter, it's Lauren. You know what I mean?
Well, you're saying she doesn't go anywhere at night because she hangs by her feet upside down for 8 hours a night.
Yeah, so my black eyes can pour out. And,
I want a demonic
Lauren,
bat
so
baby.
She closes the coffin. She's like, I never go out at night.
Can I tell you the sweetest thing about me that you're going to love right now?
Yes.
I think I have a very sweet thing going on right now. I got a Halloween tree. It's a Christmas tree that's bright orange, and I decorated it with Halloween ornaments, and I'm the happiest I've ever been.
You know, I can't believe you're saying this because I just got into a whole thing with my friend yesterday. I went to Michael's yesterday because I've gotten into painting, which is like really weird and dorky, but fine. I could show you some of my works. They're so ugly. Literally, you are going to actually cry. It's awful.
To see it.
I will show you. But I went to Michael's because I wanted to get like new paints, and like now I'm like putting beads in the shit. I'm like Jackson Pollock on my coffee table. Don't even ask, right?
I love it.
And my friend was like, "Oh, I was just there yesterday," and she's not artistic at all. Lovely girl, but I was like, "What were you doing at Michael's?" And she was like, "Buying." She lives by herself. She was like, "Buying Halloween decorations for my apartment." And I was like, what are you talking about? And she does that. She gets festive things, Christmas, Halloween, Easter, I'm assuming.
Yes, me too.
I do not come from a home that ever did that. Funny,
oh my
except
God,
for
every
Hanukkah.
holiday I've got it going on. And so does Tiffany. I mean, Tiffany's really good with holidays.
But she's very specific to her holidays because for her, the holidays are Halloween, are fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, the holidays. She doesn't do like my
Easter.
brother. Yeah, my brother and sister-in-law are teachers or elementary school teachers.
Oh.
So like, they flipped their entire classrooms. So my brother's house is like, there's Valentine's Day themed soap, towels, blah, blah. Then there's
I love
St.
that.
Patty's
I
Day
love
themed
that.
soap and towels. Like, 'cause you just know that they're flipping their classroom like every month.
I
so
think
they're like,
it's
fuck
so
it.
cute to do Valentine's Day soap.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like the
very
sweetest
cute.
thing I've ever heard.
It's like literally a pink towel with a heart, like strawberries and cream scented hand soap, and then like then it becomes like Irish Spring and
That's my
green
next level.
towels.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, you're making me feel like I just don't know why that is. We're not festive. My family, it's, though, I think that for Christmas, I love Christmas decorations, even though I'm an Jewish person, but I do think that because, especially if you're in a cold climate and you're indoors, then it is nice to have something joyful, which is, I think, why I'm so grateful that Jesus exists, because we can put lights up when it's cold. You know what I mean? Like, and make it feel.
Is like, my Halloween tree is bringing me the Christmas joy because it has like white sparkly lights, and I put it on every night and it feels nice. And I am, like we were saying, there's no like way to mark time right now. I was like, okay, this is fall. Like now it's fall. I have my orange things up. I put my pumpkins out all over the place and like all my little shit. And it just feels special in a way when like truly you could tell me it's any month of the year and I'd be like, okay, like I have no clue what's going on.
Lapkus, this is exactly, Tiff and I we're just talking about this. Everything is the same when you're at home every day. It's like with the same people. Everything is the fucking same. So we launched spooky movie season. We launched this past Saturday.
That's
so now
fun.
we have like a month and a half of watching spooky movies.
Launched it. I love this.
Yeah, and we've been doing like themed things of like, oh, I'm gonna make nachos tonight. It's like, oh, well, let's get stuff to make margaritas, and we'll have like Tex-Mex night at home.
That's fun.
And then and then we're like, oh, let's pick a movie that's themed with like, we've been trying to do like create these environments. Like we like had an Emmys party with the two people that we bubble with.
Oh,
and
nice.
the Emmys were like, we had nothing to root for, nothing, but we were like, let's cook and have and it's like, it's finally a thing to do tonight.
You're motivating me. Can I read some advice? Because sometimes I'm very curious. Does this podcast do anything for you, what I'm doing here? I feel like I always like to just read the energies of my guests and go with it. I have nothing prepared, is my point.
Oh, I think that's great.
Yes, that's
like
perfect.
what I like to do. Yeah.
I'm just having fun doing it.
Not gonna catch me preparing. Like,
I know. Well, for like newcomers, we get our producer like prepares like a breakdown of how we're going to talk about it because it's a lot of information. But that's the only time I really prepare.
Yeah, the most preparing I do is watch the movie that the podcast I'm on is talking about. Like that's about.
I
it.
one time did Griff Newman's podcast, and I didn't watch the movie. Yes. I was like, give me 10 minutes. It was like a whole thing. It was a whole thing. I was like, give me 10 minutes. I'll be ready. All right. This is actually a great question. I'm going to just read some of these. I've not prepped these. Like, I don't know what the questions are. So if I read them and I'm not getting a good feeling from them, I'm just going to move on. All right.
Okay.
But do you ever read The Ethicist in the New York Times?
Yes, I used to.
No. So Philip Galanis now answers it. It used to be this guy, Randy Cohen. I remember him. So this is the title, and I'm already interested. And I feel like, John, specifically you, why do I always feel like men have a better understanding of QAnon than women? Is that stupid to say? I don't know why.
I think men would be more intrigued by that just generally. Like, what is it? And it's what? And I could think about what? Like, it's just like, because you like might be interested in joining.
Yes, it seems like a guy's thing. Yeah.
I will say I'm not here for this gender slander, but I will say I am currently very obsessed with, and this is my cross to bear. I'm obsessed with white supremacy as domestic terrorism and QAnon and how they overlap. And I have read, and I'm not even just reading links that people are sending around. I'm reading like academic papers written for The Hague and the International Center of Terrorism. I've been reading I'm obsessed because it's truly dangerous and truly scary. And I grew up being told to be afraid of Middle Eastern people. And now it's like, wait, but white people are dangerous, and where no one is talking about that. Sorry, I know
one woman from the Chicago improv scene who was back in the day, many years ago, who is now a QAnon person who like posts videos and stuff talking about all these things. And I also think, in a way, I think it's in many ways female like women are very susceptible to this, because I heard that like they can get like sucked in through like there's a lot of mommy bloggers who are into this. There's like a whole world that is
the wellness community is very much into it. Like a lot of the fitness, like Venice Beach fitness and like lifestyle people that I follow, like all these bodybuilders and like, get fresh air, meditate, ground yourself people. They've all gone full QAnon.
I saw a thing in the Times about these 3 women who were like Midwestern women talking about how the tents were set up outside of the hospitals here in New York to traffic children in. And I'm just like, what? It's almost like torture porn. It's almost like they took the Saw movies, which are, people watch them because they were so shocking and horrible. And that's what people like to see secretly. I feel like it's like outrage porn, meaning it's the worst. It makes me want to throw up even thinking about someone thinking that that's what those tents were there for, right? But then it's like they almost get off on it. Like it's almost like, yeah, that's so horrible. Like,
why aren't they upset about like ICE detention centers?
Because that's exactly right. I have no idea. It's psychosis.
And here's what it is. If you are like a Trump supporter right now, he's got so much awful shit going on that in order for you to handle that, if you think he's hunting pedophiles and then you get to say in your head, pedophilia is the worst, which arguably it is. Yeah. So they get their argument is like impenetrable because they'll say like,
they go the lowest thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, well, it's not tense, blah, blah, blah. Just wear your mask and COVID. Wear my mask? Well, what about the pedophile tents? And you're like, no, they're not pedophile tents. And they're like, well, so now you're pro-pedophile tents? And anyone would tell you that sexual abuse of minors happens most frequently. The highest percentages, people you know and people in your family. And then also one of the biggest leads to sexual trafficking in the United States is homelessness. 2 things that all these crazy ass QAnon people are doing nothing about.
Zero.
But in their heads, it's like Wayfair is shipping people in filing cabinets. And it's like, if you can believe, and also just like all other conspiracy theories, if it allows you to believe, if you can go that deep to believe that Hillary Clinton fucked a kid in the basement of a pizzeria, anything else is possible. Then there's no, and we're all just looking for answers. And if the answer is it's magic that Democrats are doing with pedophile children, sex magic behind the scenes, if that's the explanation you're looking for, anything else can make sense then.
And it's interesting to me too that like Trump might allegedly is a pedophile, and yet that's the blind eyes turned, but it's truly the Kool-Aid levels that they've had. Cause I do believe, I watched part of The Social Dilemma on Netflix. I had to stop it after all the sketches. I watched about an hour of it, and then the whole thing with like Vincent Kartheiser, and it just, I didn't like felt very like.
It felt like the UCB sketch show a little bit, that they were like, especially the Vincent Kartheiser thing, because it was like the inner sanctum of like Amy with the eye patch. It felt like that whole thing.
It felt so like I'm an elementary school documentary, retro. I didn't like it. Lauren, what were you going to say?
No, I thought it was really interesting. And I agree on one hand that like I didn't need them to like do an act out for me to get what you were talking about. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to like see the kid like get sad about his life and start to like become a bad person or whatever.
That freckled kid.
Although I love that kid.
Booksmart. He's so
I think he's
good.
so good.
He is great. Yeah.
He's so funny in Booksmart. He's so fucking funny.
Yeah,
as
he's
the
hilarious.
like rich kid who has the.
They had a good
book money.
cast in that fake movie within the documentary.
I would say that part of the movie is not for us like adult people who like that. That part of the movie is for the 16-year-olds who are watching. I feel like
that's fine. But the thing that I was listening to, because I'm so adamantly liberal, and so how could there be people who, some of whom I do believe many are uneducated, but some are educated, and some are actually like good parents, and they consider themselves righteous people and maybe religious, whatever it is. How can they literally believe this craziness? And like talking about the two different bubbles that we live in, and just like how we get news our way, they get news their way, and their way is the way that they believe. And it's like, I just don't want to live in this country anymore. Now let me read this question. This is really true. That I'm like looking for a way out. If anyone knows anybody, I'm so ready to get out of here. Okay. So this is from The Ethicist. The title is, "What Can I Say to the QAnon Mom Next Door?" It's already good. "For 4 years, my family has been great friends with the family next door. Their kids are the same age as ours. I became close with the mother. Our husbands even work together. But during quarantine, my friend started sharing conspiracy theories about the trafficking of children. She believes Pizzagate is real and that Hollywood celebrities sacrifice children to drink their blood. Is that really true? They really think that that's what's going on? The blood drinking?"
I've seen like tweets about that, like Chrissy Teigen has to respond to.
Teigen is, I feel for her to have to deal with what she's put through.
Well, she's
it's
so
horrible.
Online, it's like a lot of people aren't as invested in Twitter as she is, so she has to deal with all the bullshit that comes with it. Like I kind of like that about her because it's relatable, because I'm obsessed with social media, but like she does kind of have to like then respond to all of these things because she like takes it personally in a sense.
Well, of course she would have to. And also it's just like to have these kind of decrepit people coming for you is just got to be the worst feeling. But anyway, so it says, "I've tried to explain the alt-right origins of QAnon falsehood. Still in every conversation, she says something like, 'This is crazy. I won't shop at Wayfair. They traffic children inside storage units.' Meanwhile, Wayfair, by the way, is a little fucked up. So I'm okay with people not shopping from them because of the mattresses and the detention camps. Never forget.
I actually don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, they supplied initially to all the ICE camps. Wayfair was giving all the mattresses. The government bought mattresses through Wayfair.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And then are you familiar with the filing cabinet thing that Michelle Collins is talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that's like the other crazy. Like,
That's a Seinfeld episode when the Japanese guys went to Kramer's apartment and got locked in the thing.
But
okay,
isn't that perfect then, that all those people believe that they're in the cabinets from Wayfair, but they don't care that the Wayfair mattresses went to these places that are like known for being horrible?
That are giving hysterectomies to these moms, but they're fine with it.
Oh my God,
All right.
that's the most disturbing thing I've ever heard.
Nazi Germany, people. It's Nazi Germany, period, full stop. Okay, so wait. Meanwhile, let's try to be funny about this. It's like such a serious guys, let's be funny. Come on. I've asked her to nicely stop talking about conspiracy theories, but she won't. How do we move on from this? Real talk, ladies and gentlemen listening, I would have to just cut off. I would cut off and avoid. I don't have there's no bridges for me to build.
No, you don't have to. I can't imagine what kind of history I would need with a person to just entertain this or even try to.
Yeah.
It's just like, you just don't need it. People could do far less annoying things and I won't talk to them anymore. Like, let's just.
Yeah.
Do you cut people off, Lauren Lapkus? I would like to hear that.
It's happened.
I never hear from her again after the podcasting. I'm like, Lauren.
It hasn't happened yet.
I don't like to do that, but I do feel like if something goes down, like sometimes it just happens naturally where it's a slow progression, and sometimes it's like, oh, I just never talked to that person again because I found out they did something really bad, or like it's some adult shit. Even just like hang out with someone a couple of times and their behavior bothers you, and then you're like, oh,
I could not hang out with them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, that's way better removing this person from my life.
The cutting the toxicity just sometimes really feels good. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Lauren, you said it best. Like, I don't know what level of friendship I'd have to be with someone to tolerate. Like, I would first start with, like, unfortunately, I would start with the never bring up anything that's remotely triggering with this neighbor mom person.
Oh my
ever.
God.
Like, I would never talk about anything important with that person. I mean, I already have that relationship with like half my neighbors, but not because they're QAnon freaks, but because they're boring and don't know how to have a conversation with an adult person.
I miss LA. I miss LA.
Every
All right.
time someone walks by, they're like, "Oh, hey, are you smoking weed, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fuck." And now I gotta have a half-hour conversation about the weather and traffic and all this bullshit.
But I do think that's because you're such a person that people want to approach. Like nobody's
I have
talking
talked to me face. I have talked to me face
Yeah.
for sure.
You're a sweetheart. Jon Gabrus is just you're the best.
I'm a giant shirtless fat guy smoking a joint, and people still want to stop and talk to me. I'm
you know
trying my
why?
best
What
to
sign are
turn
you?
them away.
What sign are you?
I'm Aquarius, baby.
Oh yeah, that air sign. Mm-hmm. Lauren, remind me. I know I always ask you.
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, Virgo, happy birthday.
Thanks.
When was it, or is it? It was-
September 6th.
Oh, yay. I should have known
Shit.
about that. And wait, John, when is your birthday? February?
January 31st.
January
Almost.
31st. Oh my God. You know, I'm turning 40 next year also. Should we do a joint party, me, you, and Tiff?
Yes, we should.
I would absolutely crash your Tokyo thing. Like, you don't even know. I love breaking couple vacations up. I've done it before. I went with two friends of mine to Hawaii. They were going, one was working there. They have a kid, to be fair. And I was like, you're going to Hawaii? Like, I will come. And I did. I really am
That's fun.
I'm a fucking asshole. Anyways, Philip agrees. He says that trying to salvage a relationship is worth it, but battering your head against a brick wall is not. So basically, he's like, step away from the friendship, which is the only answer there is. I'm so grateful. I block anybody who comes at me with QAnon, any Trump stuff. Okay, I block. I used to not like to block because I didn't like to give people the satisfaction of knowing I've even seen.
That's kind of my angle sometimes. Is I'm like, I don't even want you to have the idea that I even read your thing.
I'm a muter.
I don't like to mute because they can still respond to your tweets, and I don't like other people saying. I don't even know what they're saying, so I don't like that.
Oh shit! I guess I never put that together.
I never thought of that either.
Yeah, so they can read your stuff. You want to see one of my paintings? I feel like
Yes, please.
I feel like
this.
Ringo. I'll show you a few. Some of them are so bad. I'm going to show you the worst ones, and then we'll wrap.
What if they were like wildly realistic depictions of us in the nude? You like hold it up, and I'm like, how would you even know that?
It's all close-up paintings of my vagina, of my vulva.
Like through my window.
Can you imagine? I've gone full Georgia O'Keeffe in quarantine. I just hold up that hand mirror and I start. What?
Has anyone said Georgia O'Keeffe? Has anyone? I mean, I'm sure.
Definitely. Years ago, I came up with a stage name, Queef Latina, and then Joe, Mandy, and Noah had a show where they would make a list,
the big list,
and they stole
Totally
two
JK.
things from me with my permission, but I'm just going to credit myself for them: Queef Latina and Chandler's List, which I thought would be a funny. All right, I'm going to.
Did we get any more people on this list?
How many? I just was going to fuck your joke up, and I stopped myself because I felt it happening and I knew better. Okay, I'm going to start in the order that I painted them, and then I swear they're all very stupid. This one, this is when I thought, oh, I'll paint animals. This is the worst one.
Okay.
It's a pigeon.
Oh, I like it.
Lauren,
It's cute.
come on. Wait. This was me like learning how to blend things.
Okay, that one,
Okay.
it's like Emerald City and like
It looks like the
World
aggro
Trade
crag.
Center.
Wait, it's the World Trade Center and the aggro crag.
Yeah, it's sort of saying we need to have the guts to get back at them after 9/11. Got it. Let's go to Mo with the leaderboard.
Isn't art incredible? See, I never even thought that. Isn't art amazing?
That's what was inside of you.
You guys are amazing. Did you ever take art history classes?
I was a studio art minor.
No kidding. Were you
Yeah.
really?
I'm so old, I majored in radio, TV, film.
Oh my God, I took that in high school.
Yeah, that's how old I am. My major had radio in it. And then it turns out that's the major I'm using the most in my life, as I now exclusively work in the new radio.
I know. I'm like offended as someone who has a radio show that you would even mock the world of radio, even though it is very funny that we all do this now. It's just like, what? Can I just say, first of all, before we wrap, let's promote your stuff. I like to do this.
Please.
And I like to save it for the very end. Lauren, I start with you. we've talked about your podcasts, The Wrong Missy, which was so great. So funny. Are people still? It was the #1 movie on Netflix, by the way. That's insane.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was really exciting.
Never been happier than for one of your friends to be in an actually good comedy movie. Like, there's never been a better way to be like, well, I had to text her a compliment anyway, and at least this movie is absolutely fucking good. And your friend is the good part. Like, the movie is good, and Lapkus is the reason the movie is very, very like.
Yes,
you know, you're the comedy. You're being so fucking funny in this movie. And I am a fan, so I am obviously biased, but you're so. Like, I'm not watching it to being like, no matter what, I'm going to love this. Like, I'm the first person to tell you shit like that. And you were fucking great.
You're so like truly giftedly, geniusly funny. And it is a pleasure to watch you and not have the fear that you're not going to be funny. Cause I think that's what you're saying, John, is that you're like, oh, I have to sit and now, it's gonna, if they're not good, that's the worst when you're rooting for someone. When you hate them, it's the best. When you're rooting for them, it's painful.
Yeah.
Painful.
Nothing feels better than when someone you hate, someone comes back to you and is like, have you watched so-and-so with so-and-so, the person you hate? I'm like, I can't bring myself to it. And then they turn to you and go, it sucks.
I know. And by the way, doesn't that happen 98% of the time secretly, though? I feel like it always is the way.
98% of stuff sucks. Like, and that's also why no one should feel bad if something they're in sucks.
Because you have no control. You have no control.
So, Lauren, you have The Wrong Missy, obviously your podcast, with the hilarious Nicole Byer, who you know I love. You have Newcomers, Lord of the Rings, and then Lap Time with Lauren Lapkus.
Yeah, that's my Patreon, and I release a bunch of stuff for free too. So if you want to subscribe wherever you get your podcast, you'll get some stuff in the free feed, and maybe it'll entice you to join, or maybe not, but you'll get some fun stuff. So that's it.
So Johnny Gabies, Jon Gabrus, High and Mighty with Jon Gabrus. Are you still doing the Action Boyz on Patreon?
Yeah, still doing the Action Boyz on Patreon, and thank God, because I would have literally nothing going on if it wasn't.
Wow.
So if you want to check us out, that's actionboys with a Z.biz. And like Lapkus, we've got a few free episodes out there, so subscribe to the free feed or go to patreon.com/actionboys. It's not for everybody, and it's probably not for most people, but give it a listen and see if it's for you.
Well,
Lapkus has even done an episode of that show.
Oh my God, I
most
did it.
Impenetrably an obnoxious show to do, guest on, or listen to.
I had the best
Lapkus
time, but
did.
I was like 2 hours in, I was like, I have to go. Like, I just had to leave.
It's completely reasonable. Goodbye, Lauren. Thank you for coming. We're only going to go for another. We just recently released a 3-hour and 50-minute episode about a movie that's an hour and 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
Called The Program, which is about college football. It's not even a good movie.
No, thank you.
And we did 4 hours on it.
No, thanks.
I know. Who is that for? Literally almost no one.
From the bottom of my heart, I adore you both. Thank you for doing the show.
I adore you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys so much. I'm Michelle Collins. If you want, you can follow me in my unbearable Instagram feed at Mishcall, MICHCOLL. Truly spiraling as the weeks. You can literally see how I'm mentally breaking down. If you start my feed in like February and I got to send you that Chewbacca pic. You're going to shit. You are going to shit.
I got to see that.
You're going to shit. All right, guys, have a wonderful week. We'll see you here next week. Happy New Year. Shana Tova. Bye. Earlier in the episode, you guys heard me raving about how much I love riding my electric bike that I got from Aventon. So just a reminder, these bikes are super fun. You know, it can be a little intimidating at first, but I'm telling you that once you get the kick of it, you're going to be hooked. The kick of it? I invented it and I'm going with it. It'll be tough to ever go back to a traditional bike. And like I said, the folks over at Aventon now wanted to hook our listeners up with a brand new electric bike of your very own. They just unveiled this new model. It's called the Level Step Through Commuter e-bike. I want it. That's not even the one I have. And they're giving one away to one lucky listener. So if you want a chance to win, I suggest you head over to aventon.com/midnightsnack to enter. While you're there, check out their full line of e-bike models. I have the Pace 500, and let me just tell you, my legs swing over it. I feel like I'm getting on Big Horse. I love it. There's no way you're not going to have a blast riding one of these things around town. Just take it from me. Again, go to aventon.com/midnightsnack. You're going to enter before November 30th. That's a cool nearly 3 months. You have to enter this for a chance to win your very own Aventon electric bike. Good luck. I'm really rooting for you, specifically you. And thanks for listening.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Midnight Snack with Michelle Collins is executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. Produced by Tracy Soren. Original theme music by Gabe Lopez. Cover art by Ben Wiseman. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on Twitter and Instagram @ForeverDogTeam and liking our page on Facebook.